Hello everyone and welcome to our Tech Tuesday tutorials number 106. Today we show you how to broadcast intro slides into a Google Meet complete with hold music. So we're back from a long summer hiatus and we have a fun tutorial for you today. In light of the online meetings and classes that you may be engaged in, let's show you how we learned to jazz them up a bit during our remote trainings back in March through May. If you've hosted an online meeting or class before, you know the importance of setting up the right tone, laying down expectations, and helping people get situated prior to the session. Often we need to remind people to mute their microphones, or to ask questions, or visit a pre-session survey. It's also important to give them a peek at what they're going to be learning, or inform them that the session will be recorded, or that you'll be tracking attendance and when. These are easily communicated in slideshows, but you don't really want to have to advance these slides manually while you're still getting set up 10 minutes before the session starts. So what if you could do it automatically? You can, and let's show you how to do that. First, you head on over to Google Slides and open up a slideshow you may want to use for your intro. And to make it present on its own, you have to go up here to File and choose Publish to the Web. Publishing it to the web lets you set the auto advance, so you can set it to, let's say, every 10 seconds or so, giving them time to read the slide. You can choose whether or not you want the slideshow to start as soon as you launch it, which I usually don't. I usually like to hit play when I'm ready. And whether or not the slideshow is going to automatically repeat after the last slide. And so it basically creates a loop. Once you've made these choices, you simply Control-C or right-click copy that URL. Then you can close that out, open up another tab, and paste that URL. Now, if you want to present that, you just have to share your screen when you start your meet and make sure that you're on that tab and just hit play when you're ready for it to start. And it'll start going through that presentation, advancing when you dictated for it to. But now, what if you'd like to make it a little bit snazzier? What if you want some music? Well, Google Slides supports music and audio in general, and here's how. So step one, you need to find your own music files, preferably in MP3 format, although they can be in WAV format. MP3s are increasingly harder to find without sailing the high seas or going with royalty-free music. However, given the nature of most hold tracks that you'll be using, royalty-free music is pretty good. A lot of it's instrumental and it sounds a little bit kind of like elevator music anyways. You don't really need top 40 music for your intros. So I'll list some sites with some copyright-friendly downloads in the description, and maybe we'll even explore that in a later Tech Tuesday, but for now, let's just check out bensound.com. So just head on over to bensound.com, pick a genre and a track, and download it. This one looks pretty good. Now remember, whenever you come here with Bensound, they ask that you simply credit them, that you don't use this for a song making or a music remix or a podcast or an audiobook, but none of that applies to us. And that you simply put a link that you say that it's in Bensound right there. Okay, so I'll just copy that because I'm going to wind up using that. And then I'll download the track. Once I've downloaded the track, I'm going to get another one, just to have two. The next step is to put these into Google Drive. I have a folder in my Google Drive specifically for public music. It's up to you how you want to organize it. Just put it somewhere where you can find it and rename the file into something that you can recognize. So I'll go to New, File Upload, and I'll choose these two that I downloaded. And then you'll be ready to insert this into your slideshow. If you want someone else to be able to view your slideshow, not in the Hangout, not in the Meet, if you're going to distribute this slideshow to another person or share the link to the slideshow and you want to be able to play that, then you'll need to adjust the permission levels here. But most of your intro slides will just be for you to play back, and that's it. So most of the time your intro slides, you don't have to mess around with the permissions on that file. So I would probably want to add in a slide for the actual song itself. I can start by just duplicating a current slide that's there and change the name here. And then this is where I'm going to put that information from Bensound. Now I may need to paste without formatting to make it nice and make it have the same look and feel as the rest of my slides. So that's pretty good. And I need to put in the music, right? So I go to Insert, Audio. It then shows any audio tracks that I've recently changed in Drive, which is there, but I can also search up here for it. That's why I said, make sure you understand the name. So we'll just use, we'll use this one, sure. So it creates a little audio player and then brings up the formatting options for this player. Now this is the really important part. When this comes up, you can test it and play it back. Okay, that works. then you will want to choose whether or not you want to have to click it to make it play or automatically. I usually choose automatically. Then the volume. I would recommend the volume be at about 25 to 30% because whenever you are presenting this online, you kind of want it to be background noise. You don't want it to be really loud and make people turn the volume off. Also, if they unmute and ask questions before the session starts, then it's not going to overpower them. Basically, you're going to invert all of these choices. You're going to say automatically, you're going to bring that down from 100, you're going to hide the icon whenever it's playing, you're going to want to loop the audio, and you're not going to want it to stop whenever the slide changes. That means it's going to continue going even after that slide. So basically invert everything and bring that down to about 25%. Okay, great. If you want the music to start immediately when you start your presentation, put it as the first slide. Otherwise, leave it as the second. So I'll look over here and file and publish to the web. Restart the slideshow every 10 seconds, and I'm just going to right click and say go to. It'll open it up in another tab. That's another way to do it. So it's all good here. It's not going to actually start the slideshow and start the timings until I hit play. So I'm kind of ready to go at this point, right? And I'll just broadcast this, right? Wrong. With Zoom, you can tell it to play your audio, which you should be okay by hitting play here, as long as you check off that you want it to play your audio whenever you present your screen. In Google Meet, it's a little different. In Google Meet, you have an option to present now, and the audio only happens from your computer. Your computer audio only gets broadcasted to people if it's coming out of your speakers and then going into your mic, which is not a good plan, or if you broadcast a Chrome tab. If you do a Chrome tab, it's going to do video and audio, and it's going to push that out to people and stream it directly to them instead of through your system. And that's actually really good because you can leave your mic muted while you push out the Chrome tab, and it pushes out the audio from your computer. So that's awesome. The one thing is that if you hit Chrome tab here, notice that you have two that with the same name because I have both of these. Now, I'm usually pretty safe in just being able to pick the right one because they're usually in the order, so that's the second one. But if you want to reduce any kind of confusion on yourself, what I would do before you hit that is I would go close out the one that you're editing and leave only the presentation one there. And then come back to Meet, Present, and you'll see there it is. So it'll start presenting that tab. It'll notify you that it's presenting that tab. You'll see a little icon up there that it's presenting that tab, and you can hit play whenever you're ready. So that's now being broadcast out to your Meet. In fact, if I were to look at it, that's what it looks like. And it would then, after 10 seconds, move on to the next slide, or I can force it to go to the next slide. And then it starts playing the music. And that's coming out through the actual Google Meet. So that's great. Now you've got some background music going there, you've got some information for them, you're telling them what's up, what they're going to be learning, how to mute their mics, all this other stuff, and it just feels a little bit more professional. We've had a lot of compliments on that whenever we do that, and I thought I would share that out there with you guys. Okay, so now for a bonus tip. If you want to use 2 or more songs, perhaps the song you got is just a little too short, it's like 4 minutes and it keeps looping and it's driving people crazy. It's not that easy to do because you can insert another one, but you can't tell it to play right afterwards, and you can insert another one further on, but then they're just going to start looping on top of each other. It's hard to tell how long that song's going to be and how many slides you need and everything else. So how do you do that? Ideally, you combine those 2 songs into one song, one track, one file. And how do you do that? Well, there's a website for everything. So there's a wonderful little website called audiojoiner.com, audio-joiner.com, and it is as simple as it gets. You come here with no account needed, you click add tracks, and you add the tracks that you want to put together, you drag and drop them in the right order, and then you hit join and choose MP3 format. That's good. You can even tell whether you want to crossfade or fade out and everything else, and then you just hit join. It's going to process it, give you a file to download, and now you have a downloaded file with 2 songs back to back. You can do this with 3 or 4 or 5 songs if you want to, and have that kind of 20-minute long hold music playlist as one file. It's that simple. Okay, so I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you're glad that we're back. I hope you found it useful, and if you did, go ahead and click that like button. Heck, why not support us and click that subscribe button. Click the bell icon to receive email notifications. Leave a comment or an idea for a Tech Tuesday video below. Share this video with your friends, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.